Charlie, what is going on? How can I help?
So I'm kind of put myself back out in the dating scene, and I've been with this guy for, I don't know, let's say a month now.
Hold on. So before that, so you said you're going back to the dating scene? Were you in a long-term thing?
Well, it was 5 years ago that I was in a relationship, and that relationship kind of ruined me, and so I just kind of took time to take care of myself.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean it ruined you? I don't like that language. That makes me like, you're not ruined, you're awesome. Why did it ruin you?
I guess it just didn't leave me in the best version of myself, and I didn't like who I was after I left.
You are being cryptic. Charlie, help me out. So, like, what do you mean?
Well, he cheated on me, and then I was emotionally invested, and I was heartbroken when I found out, and so I was depressed for a little while, maybe I would say 2 years or something, but then I came out of it, and now I think I'm ready to be in the dating scene again. I think, but I've been with this guy for a month, and I just feel a little bit like I'm suffocating a little now with him. I think maybe because I've just been so used to being alone and independent and doing things on my own time, and so I'm sort of just wondering how I can gently let him know that I'm feeling just a little bit suffocated.
Man, Charlie, there's a lot here, and I don't even know that you know there's a lot here. James, how much time we got? We have 4 or 5 hours we can sit down and talk through this? Probably not? Nope. Okay. So, oh, man. Okay, let me ask you a few more questions, Charlie.
Okay.
So, 5 years ago, y'all broke up, or y'all were together for 5 years, and then you found some stuff out about him. He was cheating on you, and you were all in, invested, and it just rattled you to your core, and you didn't like some things about you. I'm just going to infer maybe you made some behavioral decisions. You did some things that you're like, man, that's not me, or you reacted in some ways, it's just not me. And now you're coming out of it, and you're ready to get back into it, and you're back into it, and you're like, oh, this is not the dude. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, I think so, kind of.
So give me an example of something when you say, it just wasn't me. What did you do that you look back and go, oh, geez Louise, that was not me? But it was you. But that's not me. But it was you, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think one major difference after that is I just noticed that I kept to myself a lot more. I'm usually a person that likes to go out and interact with people and meet new people, and so after that I was just home a lot, sitting in the corner of a room.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, and and that was just pretty much it. And my closest friends and family, they noticed that and they pulled me out of it gracefully, and so I think I'm in a good spot now. And with this new guy, I want to give the good parts of me to him, but then I'm just a little bit afraid maybe that because he's so good to me that it's just too good to be, I don't know, too good to be true maybe.
Okay, so that was going to be my first question. Is this dude just lame?
No, he's amazing actually. He's really good. He's vulnerable with his feelings, which was something that I was looking for. He makes me a priority, which is nothing I've ever had before. And he's just overall good. And so I don't know if I'm actually feeling suffocated or if I'm just worried that I'm gonna become emotionally invested again and then
get hurt again.
Burn again. Yeah.
Okay, so now I've got a much clearer picture. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you a couple of things about your heart and your brain that is hopefully will give you some peace. Okay.
Okay.
Number one, you got hurt bad. Is that right?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Okay. So I want you to know that it's brave that you even say that out loud. Good for you. Okay. You got roasted. You got burned. Okay. And that hurts. And when we get hurt, then our brain remembers that pain. Especially deep violations of connected relationships. It's why childhood trauma, when parents abuse their kids or parents neglect their kids, that trauma stays with us forever. Unless we do some hard work. Because our brain remembers, I ain't ever going to hurt like that again. right? And so if this is a guy, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, so this dude you were with for 5 years, you had plans with him, huh?
Yeah, I did.
You were looking at furniture in your mind for not even the first house, but the second house, right?
Yeah.
Naming kids and things like that. Okay, so that hurt bad, right? And it wasn't just a breakup hurt, but it was a violation hurt, and your brain notched that and said, all right, that's never happening again, because your brain's job is not to make sure you are happy and that there are snowflakes and rainbows everywhere. It's to make sure you're alive, right? And so every time from this point forward for a season, when you start getting close and it recognizes, oh, crap, she's falling in love, it's going to sound the alarms, okay?
Okay.
Because it's assuming, hey, you forgot what happened last time? Genius. We're not doing this again, right? So every time you feel that that suffocation feeling, that tightness in your chest, that it's too good to be true, that just smile and understand that your brain's just trying to take care of you. Okay? It's just trying to love you the best way it knows how, and our brains are sometimes really incredible and sometimes they're blunt instruments, okay?
Okay.
And sometimes you may even need to go, hey, thank you for taking care of me. I've got it. I appreciate you. Okay? Here's the second thing. When people get cheated on, especially in a long-term relationship, there's the obvious pain. I lost this relationship. There's the pain of betrayal. Sometimes often people stay together and they have to learn how to love again. They've got to learn how to trust again. And they have to build something new. What people often don't talk about when someone gets cheated on, when someone betrays somebody else like this, is that you lose trust in yourself. You lose trust in Charlie's judgment because you didn't see this coming. You were all in. Had you known, had you seen this coming, you would have protected yourself, and you missed it, right? And I'm not saying this is your fault. I'm just saying here's the narrative that goes in our minds. How could I have not seen that? And then you may even start rewinding the history of your relationship and you start realizing, I did know. I saw that and I didn't want to see it. I saw that. I saw him hide his phone. I saw this. I saw that. And I blocked it out of my mind. I didn't want to see it. And then you start beating yourself up. But there's this loss of trust in yourself, right? And you sound like someone who is super lucky that you've worked hard to cultivate awesome friends around you. Is that right? You got a good squad that runs with you?
Yes, they always tell me straight up what's wrong with me
Oh, that's so good, man. That's a gift that, man, nurture that forever. Friends are everything. But here's what you have to do. You have to learn to trust yourself again.
Okay.
And you only can learn to do that by practicing, right? By leaning into those really uncomfortable moments. And so here's the hard truth I'm going to give you. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This guy may be incredible. You may have had a disastrous, heartbreaking relationship, and you may be ready to get back on the horse or back in the wagon. I don't know any non-West Texas references here. Back on the Harley. I don't know what happens in Indianapolis, but whatever. But you may be ready to get back on, and then the first rattle out of the bag, the first game, he's the one, right? You're 25, you found him, and it's going to be it forever. Or, Charlie, he may cheat on you. He may suck. And here's why I'm telling you that. I'm not telling you that to be mean. I'm telling you this. All relationships, 100% of them are a risk. They're a risk. They're scary. And that's what makes them hard, and that's what makes them so incredibly important for us. And so you're going to have to lean into that risk. You're going to have to lean into that unknown. You're going to have to let your brain know, hey, I know this could happen again. I'm going to take the lessons that I learned last time. I'm going to be open and vulnerable with this new guy. And it turns out he's a dweeb. He's a dork, man. Then I'm out, right? And listen to your body. If you're like, dude, you're just suffocating me, man. Quit texting me, weirdo. Then tell him that, right? You can tell him.
Okay.
If you start thinking, this guy's incredible, I'm not ready yet, let him know that. And you don't have to be ready. You know whose timetable you're on? Nobody's. Just yours.
Okay.
Okay? There's no rules to this deal other than you be honest and vulnerable and you be true to yourself. And then however you move forward is however you move forward.
Okay.
You, my new sister Charlie, are in full control, okay, of the story, of the narrative, of the potential of getting hurt again, and the potential of being loved and loved and loved and loved. And love is a risk, and it's hard, and it's scary, and it's so good. What do you think? No crying on my show, Charlie. Just kidding.
Think I'm crying tears of good confirmation, because I think I know all that, and it's just good to hear it from someone else that isn't in my circle, that maybe I'm just not lying to myself or fooling myself because these people just want to please me or who I am, but I appreciate that.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you for being brave. I appreciate you for being bold and for listening to your body and not ignoring your heart, and also not being afraid to push through when it gets real scary. Okay. And listen, you know who needs to hear this? This guy.
Yeah.
Does he know that you were in a 5-year relationship and that guy cheated on you and things got messy and you got your heart broken? Does he know this?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, so maybe you be vulnerable at some point and let him know.
Okay.
I want you, you know what I mean? Think of it this way. If one time you were training for a marathon and you stepped off the curb accidentally and broke your ankle, and then you just spent a season not running because you got to let your leg heal, and then you went to rehab, and then you started jogging around the block, and then you joined a runner's group, you'd probably let them know, hey, listen, I'm going to do the best I can with what I've got. I've got to get back in shape. This whole thing's new, and I don't trust my new leg yet, my rehabbed ankle yet. I'm going to have to build some trust in it. And some people in that group are like, well, forget you, bro. I'm taking off. I'm getting my super marathon time. But a big chunk of that group would be like, sweet, you run with us. Right?
Okay.
And it's just learning to step on that ankle until you know it's strong, you know it's good, and you got good friends. I can tell on the phone you've got a Indianapolis-sized heart. I don't even know how big that is. I was going to say Texas-sized heart, but I don't know you that well. But you have an Indianapolis-sized heart. You're made of gold, and somebody's going to be lucky to have you in their life, and it's okay to go slow.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this, you have blessed me today, Charlie. I appreciate you calling and being vulnerable, and trust your heart and trust your body, trust your friends, and most importantly, trust you.